Many energy methods are based on a multidisciplinary system used to evaluate functional illness called applied kinesiology. If you've been to an acupuncturist or a chiropractor recently who's used those methods, you will be very familiar with what we're about to do in this demonstration. One of the techniques derived from applied kinesiology that's used to evaluate illness in terms of how the body responds is called manual muscle testing. In energy psychology, we use manual muscle testing both from a practitioner who will apply the method with the client, as well as teaching clients how to do self-testing, which is what you're going to learn here. There are several types of self-testing, and each of them is a little bit different and sometimes strange. We're only looking for one method to be reliable for you. That is, it's very common for not every method to work or resonate with you. So just look for the one that gives you maybe a little bit more confidence than the rest. And as we go through these, try to keep an open mind, because they do seem strange and it will be a paradigm shift if you've never experienced them before. Basically, what manual muscle testing is designed to do is to determine the body's yes and no responses to a series of questions or statements. First, we're going to learn the techniques, and then we will practice using them to get the body's yes and no answers. So one of the most commonly used self-testing methods is called the O-ring. And what you do is you take your non-dominant arm, which for me is my left arm and hand, and form an O with the index finger touching the top of the thumb, or the thumb pad. Then take your dominant index finger and push against that place where those two fingers come together. And as you apply even pressure, first you'll say out loud the word yes, yes. Then you'll say out loud the word no, no. And for me, it may seem like I'm just breaking the fingers, but in fact, I'm responding to a letting go in my muscles, which I can feel, and then I just go ahead and allow them to let go. So again, following along, if you're ready, yes, say yes, and no, no. Now, what I just did was to show you what can happen for some people. So if you get your no response to be actually this usually a strong one where the O-ring holds, and your yes response is a weaker one where the fingers let go, that's okay. What we're looking for is consistent and reliable results. So let's do it again, and actually we'll do it a couple of more times, and what you're looking for is whether you can distinguish between yes and no regardless of what that looks like. So again, saying out loud the word yes, yes, and the word no, no. Okay? And you'll do it again. So yes and no. Yes and no. And so you can see that for me, my yes and no response is the usual strong response where the O-ring remains under pressure, and my no response is the weak response where the muscles let go. If that didn't work for you very well, that's okay. Just let go of the results. You might want to shake out your hands a little bit, and then we're going to go on to the next technique, and this one is called the sticky smooth test. What you'll do is, again with your non-dominant hand, take your index finger and rub it across the thumb pad of that non-dominant hand, for me my left hand. Okay? So you're only using one hand in this test by comparison with the O-ring. And as you rub this finger across your thumb pad, say out loud the word yes. Yes, and keep rubbing. Say out loud the word no. No, and keep rubbing. Yes, keep rubbing. No, keep rubbing. And you'll notice for me, the yes signal was when my fingers move very smoothly. And the no response was when it was very hard for me to move them. That's why it's called the smooth, which for me is the yes response, and the sticky, which is the no response. Again, if you have a reverse reaction, as long as it's consistent, that's okay. So let's do it 1 or 2 more times. Starting to rub and then saying out loud, yes, keep rubbing, and no, keep rubbing. Yes, keep rubbing, and no, keep rubbing. This one may be really quite surprising to you if you haven't done this before. Let's do it again. Yes, keep rubbing, and no, keep rubbing. Okay, very good.